This is your community. This is where you raise your family, build your company, learn something new, find that perfect gift, enjoy a great dinner, and create memories that last a lifetime. This is Burleson.
Hi, this is Mayor Ken Shetter. I am proud to report to you that the state of our city is strong and our future is bright. We are a growing, thriving community, a great place to live and a great place to do business. 2017 was a remarkable year, but as you will see, we're not planning on standing still in 2018.
In 2017, the city approved 72 final and minor plats and issued 279 residential building permits, with an average value of $263,500, which is a 14% increase over last year's average value of $230,000. Providing our residents with a safe place to call home is our #1 objective, which is why we were so excited to announce that the city achieved an ISO rating of 1, placing it in the top 1% of communities in the entire United States in fire protection. And we have added 7 new firefighter positions in the last 18 months. We have been a state and nationwide leader in passing ordinances that deter family violence and ensuring that the littlest of victims are protected by making it unlawful to commit an act of unjustified violence in presence of a child. We are making strides in how our residents move through our city. 4 transportation projects completed in 2017 and 9 more underway. We opened the Allsbury Boulevard extension to Hewlin Street. This project extended Allsbury Boulevard from its previous endpoint of Cathy Drive to Hewlin Street, opening up a more direct route from the western areas into the city. The project included 2 travel lanes, landscaped medians, 10-foot trail on the south side, and a much safer and soon-to-be quiet zone railroad crossing. New water line infrastructure, paving, and drainage improvements are wrapping up on Johnson Avenue. While the focus of the project was aging water lines, the drainage work included will help keep Newton open during heavy rainfalls in this area.
As I've said many times, we have grown and will continue to grow, not because we favor growth for growth's sake, but because we are strategically located within one of the fastest growing metropolitan regions with great schools and great quality of life. That's why Burleson was identified by the Dallas Business Journal as the 8th fastest growing North Texas city. The question is not whether to grow, but how to achieve smart, sustainable growth. The answer, of course, is making public safety and infrastructure our top priorities. When it comes to public safety, our most important investment is in human resources. That's why, in the current year's budget, the City Council, at the recommendation of the City Manager, significantly increased pay for our first responders. While this was a major investment, it was the right thing to do to ensure we remain competitive within the region and retain our best and brightest. Continuing to ensure that we have the number of first responder positions we need to keep the city safe and that our pay scale is competitive will continue to be the Council's #1 objective. For the first time in several years, I'm reporting to you that we realized an increase in the city's Part 1 crimes last year, with an 8% increase in the raw number of Part 1 offenses compared to 2016. When looked at as a crime rate, the increase was more modest at 5.2%. Put in a recent historical context, we should note that our overall trend still looks good, with the number of Part 1 offenses in 2017 remaining lower than the number of Part 1 offenses committed at the outset of this decade, even after 7 years of steady population growth. Still, the police department, city management, and city council take the 2017 bump seriously, and we are committed to ensuring our long-term trend of lower crime rates continues. In addition to the important investments I mentioned earlier, the police department continues to focus not only on the smartest deployment of our law enforcement assets and strategies, but also on the importance of community partnerships. This past year, the department enhanced public outreach and education efforts, launched a new Citizens Awareness Training Program, and graduated the inaugural class of the Ministers and Officers for a Greater Burleson program. We also recognize there are important policy changes we can make to strengthen the long-term crime intervention and prevention efforts, add tools to our law enforcement toolbox, and protect our most vulnerable population. In 2017, we took a close look at the issue of childhood exposure to violence. Consider that exposure to violence in the home is the most common form of child maltreatment. That exposure to violence in the home puts children at risk from everything from behavioral and academic problems to lifelong health issues, and that a majority of the individuals populating our prisons grew up in homes where there was violence. Consider further that according to the Center for Disease Control Statistics, we have more than 1,000 children annually exposed to violence in the city of Burleson. That is why we became the first city in America to pass an ordinance making it illegal to commit serious acts of violence in the presence of your child. Not only does this ordinance rightly recognize exposing a child to violence for what it is, a crime against the child, it will also ensure our officers identify children who witness incidents of domestic violence in police reports, making it possible to more effectively identify children who need help, assess their needs, and connect them to the services they need. There is another domestic violence-related issue that has a far greater impact on our community than most people realize, and that is strangulation. A staggering number of victims of domestic violence are strangled by their intimate partner, and this has a number of important implications. First, victims who are strangled often suffer long-term, sometimes life-threatening medical consequences that are not immediately apparent. Second, a victim of domestic violence who has been strangled by their abuser is 800% more likely to ultimately be killed by their abuser. And third, abusers who will strangle an intimate partner are also likely to commit violent crimes outside their homes. At the January 22nd City Council meeting, the Council will consider an ordinance to create a first-of-its-kind strangulation protocol. This ordinance would require the creation of a multidisciplinary task force, ensure our first responders are properly trained to deal with incidents of strangulation, ensure effective evidence collection, which will aid prosecutors, and perhaps most importantly, will require an EMS response anytime strangulation is alleged or suspected. Here's the bottom line. Burleson will continue to disprove the commonly held belief that crime necessarily increases with population growth. We will do that by looking for smart policies to enhance crime prevention efforts, continuing to invest wisely in resources, and strengthening police-community relations. On the firefighting side of the public safety equation, did we mention that Burleson achieved a Class 1 ISO rating? As you may have heard, that puts us in select company. Out of 50,000 departments that have been evaluated, only 270 have earned a Class 1 rating. And we didn't get there by accident. For well over a decade, we have increased staffing, invested in new equipment and facilities, invested in water infrastructure that is critical to fire suppression, forged important mutual aid agreements, and made wise decisions about the structure of the department and exactly how our resources are deployed. What this means for the community is lower commercial insurance rates, great response times, and outstanding life-saving capabilities. In the coming year, the fire department will strengthen our ability to provide aid to critical patients before MedStar arrival, and will further enhance life safety prevention efforts, even offering free swim lessons to Burleson second graders. In terms of infrastructure improvements to maintain our smart growth, on the heels of the important projects mentioned for 2017, here are the projects on deck for 2018. Old Town Quiet Zones, Renfro Street improvements from 174 to Alsbury and Johnson to I-35, the widening of McAllister, improvements to McNairn at 174, the Irene and Gardens to Johnson Safe Pedestrian Routes project, the extension of Lakewood to County Road 1021, and rehab for Rudd, Johnson, King, Warren, Cindy Court, Red Hawk Court, Cardinal Ridge, Northwest Tarrant, and Industrial Park Boulevard.
We're not only bringing education to our residents, we're giving them the tools to achieve it. Last year, the Burleson Opportunity Fund gave 138 scholarships to Burleson seniors so that they could attend Hill College at Burleson. In the 6 years of the program's existence, the fund has provided scholarships for 975 graduating seniors. The city and business leaders launched Burleson Works, a one-of-a-kind program that pairs Burleson residents with local companies that have positions to fill, and then providing the resident with the technical training needed to step into that role.
Once again, we have no plans to rest on our success. In partnership with the BISD and Hill College, we continue to explore ways to expand higher education opportunities in Burleson. We made progress in 2017 with the development of the Burleson Works program, the entry of Texas Tech, who is now offering online bachelor's degree programming to Burleson students, and when the City Council approved a plan which could lead to a $3.5 million investment in expanded higher education facilities in Burleson. I am hopeful that in 2018, the City, Hill College, and BISD can come to terms on a plan to provide workforce training as well as associates and four-year degrees to our community, and we will be able to move forward with making Burleson a community where everyone has access to higher education. It is important to note that universal access to higher ed isn't just important to Burleson families. It gives us an incredible competitive edge in our economic development efforts, an area where Burleson is doing pretty good. The City of Burleson Economic Development Team was recently ranked as a top 10 North Texas economic development agency by the Dallas Business Journal. Of course, that's no surprise to us.
We are bringing more jobs and more development into our community every day. Hayes and Stoltz wrapped up construction on their new $10 million, 144,000 square foot building at High Point Business Park. Also breaking ground this year was Arabella at Burleson, a mixed-use development located on 95 acres near the intersection of Southwest Hewland Street and Southwest Wilshire Boulevard. The $80 to $90 million development will feature retail, single-family homes, independent senior living, and an assisted living facility, multifamily development, a greenbelt, and various common area. The development processed for Golden State Foods Manufactory, which will create 150 new jobs and build a state-of-the-art building projected to exceed $70 million, and the headquarters for McLean Classic Foods, which will build their 150,000 square foot facility in Burleson's High Point Business Park East, all began in 2017. The city also finalized a deal to bring Hard 8 Barbecue's 5th location to Burleson.
No question about it, Burleson's economic outlook is outstanding. Our unemployment rate stands at 3.2% compared to the 4.1% national and 3.9% state rates. Our median household income increased $8,000 from 2016 to $88,000, which is more than $30,000 higher than the median income for the state. And once again, our retail vacancy rate remains the lowest of any DFW submarket at just 1.9%. In 2017, our economic development team created $120 million in new investment in Burleson, and there's no reason to think we'll be slowing down in 2018. Of course, it's not all about work in Burleson. Great public spaces give us places to exercise and play and opportunities to enjoy the great outdoors. And with all the forces working to divide us in this world, we are more aware than ever that great public spaces create a sense of community. They bring us together to celebrate our shared customs and traditions and create a sense of belonging.
Providing our residents and visitors with great places to shop, eat, and recreate is what brings our community together. Bailey Lake renovations were completed in June. These included a pavilion with restrooms, a fishing pier, 10-foot concrete trail along with extra parking and additional picnic tables. Warren and Mistletoe Parks both received shade structures over their playgrounds. And the Summercrest to McAllister Bicycle and Pedestrian Improvements Project was completed this year, adding a total of 7.2 miles of bike lanes, bike routes, sidewalks, and trails that connect 5 schools and 6 parks to many neighborhoods.
The project put in place one more piece of the planned 10-mile Burleson bike loop added to our safe routes to schools and provides safer options for those wanting to enjoy an active lifestyle. Parks weren't the only thing getting renovations. The Burleson Public Library Children's and Teens area both got a facelift. And the design process is nearing completion for the public plaza planned for Old Town. design team is now working to complete the construction documents to put the project out for public bid, and will hopefully see construction in the spring of 2018.
The city continues to host a wide variety of community events. Visitors gather in Old Town for the Hot Sounds of Summer concert in the summer, Old Town Picture Show, Founders Day, and Boo Bash in October. And capped off the year with an amazing fireworks show for our city's Christmas tree lighting.
I hope you share my belief that there's never been a better time to be part of the Burleson community. While we face the challenges any growing community faces, we are in a great position to build on our success and be an even better place to live, learn, work, and play. We take pride in all of our shared accomplishments in 2017, but we aren't slowing down. Burleson's future is woven with all the people who call our community home, from the CEO to the service providers, those that are juggling the daily life of a busy family, to those who just got their own place. The teacher, the doctor, the welder, the first responder, the barista, and so many more. This is where you belong. We are Burleson. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless Burleson.